Another day, another travel. I came to Johannesburg for work, but this trip turned out way more interesting than I expected. From flying Qatar Airways again after 4 years to discovering the city's hidden vibes and tasting some surprisingly good food, I'm taking you through everything I noticed on this short work trip. Flying Qatar Airways again after my last trip in 2021 felt familiar but improved. So I just landed in South Africa at this point. The service, the comfort of Qatar Airways, and the food had some nice upgrades. The window seat views never gets old. So I landed in Johannesburg, and this is my first time in South Africa. I was so excited to be here. So I'm in this ride with some of my work colleagues. We got picked up at the airport. I just arrived at my hotel. I'm going to leave the name at the end of this video or here. This was my room. The first room they gave me wasn't great. The door lock wasn't good, but I wasn't comfortable, so I requested for a different room. This was my room, and it was very large. It was really good. And on to day 2 of activities. So I was going to the office on this day, and I just kept taking videos of the skyline and everything in Johannesburg. It felt really nice. I had never experienced this part of Johannesburg in the pictures I've seen. I just hear a lot about Cape Town, but it was refreshing to see how Johannesburg was so beautiful. And my work schedule had me at the Johannesburg Country Club, which I'm going to show you in a few clips. This was so nice. This was me in the Uber to my airport. One top tip here is to always use Uber Black. It's the safest means of transportation in Johannesburg. And when we were traveling, my company really warned us about being safe at all times, using the cabs that you can verify the driver. So definitely be careful when you are in Johannesburg. It's a lovely city. This is my workstation or my work location for the day. And I did like a short video from my office. Decided not to post any clips of me in the office, but at this point I was done, and I was so happy to be done. The Mall of Africa was right beside where I was working from on this day. And also, it was so lovely to see. Here, I was with some of my colleagues. They were taking me some videos because I was so happy to be in South Africa. And first time in Johannesburg. Looking forward to going to Cape Town at a later time. But I was happy to see that Johannesburg is as beautiful as Cape Town, which is the one that everybody really knows when you talk about South Africa. So it is really, really lovely. So end of day, I go back to my hotel. I had a strawberry daiquiri. I really wanted one because apparently the ones in Africa are made nice. Nigeria. This was supposed to be seafood pasta. No words. Day 3, I was going to the Johannesburg Country Club on this day. I was so happy. So we had an event in the Johannesburg Country Club on this day, and that's why we were heading there. And it was such a lovely experience, to be honest. And I was so happy to be there because I didn't expect this was going to be part of my trip, but this was us en route to the Johannesburg Country Club. It was such a stunning area. Like, it was nice. I don't know the modalities for you to get in here, but I know because we had a work event, we could come in to this place. I don't know if you had to be a member. I don't know if you had to pay. So definitely worth researching if you are interested in doing that. And I know we came here for a work event and we're supposed to have braai. Braai is what South Africans call their barbecue. So I was really looking forward to this, and I was excited as to, how this was going to go. But as you can see, this is a welcome sign to the Country Club, Johannesburg. You're going to see the interior shortly. To be fair, the interior didn't really match the exterior, but all in all, it was still really nice. I really enjoyed it. Enjoy my time here. I think you could play golf on these courses as well. So this is when you walk into the reception of the Country Club. You have some areas where you can sit. One thing I liked about this place is it has some quiet rooms if you wanted to have private meetings, if you had a work meeting that you wanted to take in private. I think you had to pay for it, but surprisingly, the reception people were so kind and they allowed me to take my meeting in a room for 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And then I was on to meeting my colleagues around the grounds. But I noticed also there were people here who sat down and just having drinks, regular things you do in a country club, to be honest. And I think you could take jogs or walks here if you wanted. At this point, we were approaching where the braai was happening. So that's where the barbecue table was set. So for privacy reasons, I didn't put the pictures of people who were there, but this is where we had the braai. And then I had another work meeting, so I just took a picture. It was so sunny on this day. Of course, South Africa is hot, lovely. And then I decided to take some pictures. I was so happy, you can tell. I asked some of my colleagues to take pictures for me. And then it was time to head back home. to the hotel. So we then decided also to make a pit stop at where the conference we came for was going to hold, and it was supposed to be at the Sandton Convention Center. I saw Häagen-Dazs. I love ice cream so much, so I took some ice cream, and then we decided to go to Woolworths. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's one of the big malls that they have in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I was walking to that area. So this is also within the Sandton Convention Center. So there are restaurants in there, there are malls, there are also different shops. They had this huge sale in the Woolworths there, and this is the Häagen-Dazs where we got the ice cream from. And it was the end of a lovely night, and it was time to go back to the hotel to prepare for the actual conference that we came to South Africa for. This trip wasn't a vacation, but Johannesburg left an impression. It reminded me that even short trips or work trips can be full of small discoveries. And I was so happy that I flew Qatar Airways. This is not an ad, by the way. I hadn't flown Qatar Airways since 2021 when I came to the UK. And it was so great to see that they maintained the same quality as the first time that I flew it. It was really, really lovely. Day 4. It was time to go for the conference. So I went down for breakfast. To be honest, breakfast didn't really wow me. But this is the Sandton Convention Center. And this was entertainment. This was the entertainment at the venue. Conference was with some more entertainment for you. We already entered where the conference was happening. So just listen to the sound bath. Anyway, we ended the conference at night. As you know, conferences can be very repetitive, but this venue made everything feel a little more enjoyable. It was time for us to explore the Sandton Convention City at night. So I took a picture with the statue of Nelson Mandela. And of course, we all cheers to a lovely conference that had come to an end. So it was great to be there. And this was us dancing. At the beginning here, this lady pushed me away because I was spoiling their vibe. But this was us dancing. I didn't put the sound because of copyright, but you can tell that we were all happy to have been done after months of planning and flying all the way from London to be with the company in South Africa. It was such a lovely adventure, and I'm happy that I came because it was great meeting people that I've been working with virtually for months. So it was great. And we did go to, this was still in the Hard Rock where we were. This was also some version of bread. I didn't like any of the meat on that plate, but I love this mixture. I think it was chimichurri. But it was such a lovely night. And at this point, you see that I'm so excited, taking more videos and pictures. And you hear my colleagues shortly asking me if I had a good time. And of course, I answered in the affirmative because it was such an amazing time. And I definitely will be coming back to South Africa if given the chance. So it was so nice.
Go ahead. South Africa has been lovely. Yes.
Anyway, that was the end of the night. It was such a lovely night, and I'm glad that I went with them. And this trip was so fun. I never met a lot of those people in person, and I was glad to have reconnected with all of them in person. But it was time to wrap up and leave South Africa. I was so happy. I didn't like this breakfast again, but it was goodbye to Johannesburg for now, and definitely we'll come back a second time. And flying Qatar back, there was a layover in Doha, of course, which was really hot, but of course the Qatar airport is as stunning as ever. I flew at night, but I landed the next day because I had I don't know how many hours layover, but I think it was an hour or so. But this was me looking at the city, excited to come back for a second time. But if you enjoy honest travel insights, even from short walk trips or long relaxing holidays, hit subscribe. I share every new city adventure, no matter how short. And I'm so excited to have gone to Johannesburg for this work trip, and I'm looking forward to the next videos that I roll out for you. I hope you've been enjoying my content. Thank you for watching. Back to London, back to base, and it was time to use the Elizabeth line back to the home. Thank you for watching. Please share with your friends. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.